I'm going to be doing a remix for this mission, but I need some help on which song to use. I'm leaning towards Naval Blockade, but I could also do Liberation of Grace Maria or something else. Let me know in the comments, and enjoy the video.
That's it? What the fuck? Son of a bitch! You done fucked it up!
I think that's the best way to put it. This mission... Okay, let me clarify. I think that the last mission in this DLC cycle was a great mission. I think that mission is the second best in the game because I still prefer a long day, and I think it was top notch in the series. It had its problems, I'm not gonna lie, but I think that mission was really good. I think it was a step in the right direction. But this mission is a complete setback. It is garbage tier, and it should be thrown in the trash with the rest of the horrible missions that the main campaign had to offer, along with the story, which has been completely gutted and sucks. This mission is atrocious. It is the most anti-player design I've ever seen in the series, besides maybe Liberation of Grace Maria. This mission consists of the most enemy spam I've ever seen in the series, with the most dirty intent from the developers. Now, I don't know for sure that's the case. I'm just saying that's what it feels like to play this mission. This mission is so horribly done. It literally feels like the developers did this just to screw with you. The design in this mission is basically, let's see how many enemies we can throw at the player to overwhelm them, and how many main objectives or problems we can throw their way. This mission throws so many enemies at you. It's above easy, which is what this gameplay is going to be in, because at this time, this is my 5th playthrough. This is the only difficulty I haven't S-ranked yet, because I'm going to do that. I'm going to S-rank every difficulty on each mission. But on easy, okay, it's a fine mission, I guess. But anything above easy, normal and above, is ridiculous. I played this mission with an F15 to start, and it was impossible. It was impossible to use with the 4 AM, so I had to bring a PLSL, or the pulse lasers, and it was still ridiculous. It's completely unbalanced. So let me get started by saying that you get a couple, no, you don't even get a couple. You get like 30 seconds to take out all the enemies you can before they engage you. But by the time you get there, you only got about 15 seconds, and then they're going to attack you. And depending on which way you go, it can either start out overwhelming or be overwhelming later. There are, I guess, I couldn't even count how many ships there are on the right area. On, I guess, the northern area, technically, on the map. But they all have SAMs, they all have VLSs, and it's just unfair. It's completely unbalanced. I've died multiple times. And on my first playthrough with the F-15, I got killed. There's so many missiles. There's barely any breathing room in this mission. And again, a main complaint I have is you don't have the AI helping you. Now, I noticed when I did my easy playthrough, the AI was actually doing a good amount, which really surprised me, at least more than they usually do. But again, this mission reeks of the design where the AI can't help you. The AI simply cannot do anything, or at least enough to help you in this mission. And there's no other friendlies. There's no friendlies in this mission besides your AI teammates, who are pretty much useless, and they're not going to be taking any fire. You're all on your own, and you're getting spammed hundreds of missiles. I'm not kidding. But by the first minute, you'll have hundreds of missiles spammed at you. It is completely unfair. And if you take the left side first, you can stop MQ-99s, or 100, I don't know what they're called, from spawning. But it's not worth it. You want to get as much damage to the fleet you can as soon as you can, because it's going to completely destroy you if you go there and try to take it out. I don't know if this mission is even possible without special air-to-ground weaponry. I haven't tried with an LACM or the AGMs yet. I wouldn't recommend either. It seems like you need pulse lasers or the XSDBs, because without them, you aren't going to have enough ammo. You aren't going to be able to destroy everything quick enough. And you have to destroy everything quick. You don't have a choice. If you don't get everything destroyed quick, you're going to be completely overwhelmed. Because they decided of the most anti-player thing, and the reason this mission is so atrocious. When you get about, I don't know the exact mark, probably 8-minute mark, a UAV shows up and calls in Stonehenge strikes on you. It follows you around. It follows you around. Keep in mind, you've got a bunch of enemy air enemies on you. You've got a bunch of fighter jets chasing you. You've got so many VLSs shooting at you. You've got tons of ground-to-air fire. And now you have this thing that can outmaneuver you in every way. It can follow you easily. You got this thing chasing you around, and if you either have to shoot it down, which can be really difficult above easy, and if you're in the circle, you're going to get really damaged. I've been scathed a couple of times. Luckily, I've never been shot down by it, but it's completely overwhelming when you're panicking and you're getting shot all this time. Now you're in the middle of the circle, and it completely outmaneuvers you. You can't get away from it, and if you do try to get away from it, if you stop engaging, if you do anything, I don't even know how to put this. If you do anything, you're screwed. You're constantly being fired on. It's completely anti-player. It feels dirty. It feels like they just said, screw it. Let's throw all the enemies we can at you and completely overwhelm you. So, the mission's terrible. I absolutely hate the design. It's just so enemy spammy. I understand that the last mission had a lot of enemies, but they were air targets. And for the most part, your allies helped you a little bit. And the enemies spread out. They went to do objectives. So most of the F4Es would attack the, whatever they're called, the landing ships. And then the other fighter jets would spread out from left to right. Areas like that. You could handle it too, because they're not ace pilots. It's not going to be too hard to deal with. And you don't have a Stonehenge UAV flying around you, and then you have to get away from it somehow when you're completely overwhelmed. The only way to get away from it, really, is to outmaneuver it, or hope that the thing will just have ADHD and see something shiny and go fly away, like it does sometimes. It's completely wrong. So, not to mention the infinite spawning air-to-air, but that's also something the last mission had. I don't get that. Let us destroy everything. Why is that a problem to have that? And the second part of this mission is an utter joke. The siblings, I think they're the new easiest aces, or easiest bosses in the series. I think they're easier than Guild. I managed to hit them without even locking onto them on my first playthrough. It was pathetic. They are pathetic. But at least you can shoot them down. At least you can shoot them down, unlike Mihai, so I guess props. I mean, that's the bare minimum, that, you don't have to fire hundreds of missiles into them just to shoot them down, but obviously the design philosophy of Namco has changed drastically from what it used to be. I think this mission would work just fine on Ace Combat 5, 0, or even 4. I think it worked fine. Well, maybe less so. But it would work fine on any other game. Why? Because the ships don't have as much health on those games. It takes a ridiculous amount of firepower, and this is why I think it's not really practical. And also, I actually have tried LASMs on this mission. They're not practical. Not because they're bad. They're great against ships, but they don't hit any of the time. But that's a problem with the main game. That's a problem with the game in general. The fact that the LASMs never hit. They always overshoot. I don't understand why that's a problem, but that's a problem. Now, this story has just changed for the worse. I don't even know what to say about all of it, but I actually do, because I don't know why I said that. That seems to be a common theme. Anyway, Torres. Torres is atrocious. I'm going to be using that word a lot. Torres, who was somewhat, I guess, interesting. He's been turned into a cartoon villain. If he wasn't already, he's been turned into a cartoon villain. He's not interesting. I don't care about him. I don't see why you would. He's not interesting in any way. He's laughing in the background when Stonehenge is firing. It's like, who is writing this? This is worse than the main story. It was fine in the last mission, although this mission for some reason made the Brigadier General even more stereotypically just much of a prick, which I don't understand. He doesn't need to be that big of a prick. Oh, but he's a traitor. Whatever. That's so stupid. Not that it matters, since him and General Shepard are probably both traitors. Of course Shepard's a traitor. It doesn't matter, though. And I never liked Lancaster that much. He's okay for the most part, but this mission made me hate Lancaster. And it made me hate him more than Count. I now hate Lancaster more than Count. So congratulations, Namco. You fixed my Count problem, but you've officially made Lancaster even more annoying than he already was. So that's great. But as for the rest of them, I mean, it's whatever. They're not bad. They're... I don't know. I mean, Count's okay now. He's not annoying. Hujin's... I don't like Hujin. But she doesn't bother me too much. Lanza... I still prefer Skull. Now, the siblings... Them... Oh, boy, what did they do? Okay, so I'm assuming they're supposed to be the two most... Or the most... One of them... I don't know. I remember they were advertising this DLC to have the most evil person in Ace Combat. Now, honestly, I don't know who it's supposed to be. It could be Torres. It could be them. It could be anybody. It could even be Clemens, for all I know. But, what I can say about the siblings is they're... something. To quote Hujin, they're something. I don't know if they're supposed to be intimidating, if they're supposed to be threatening, if they're supposed to be sad, I don't know. Because when they were both dying or whatever, because they both die, I mean, it's... What wasted potential, might I add that? They're both dead now. Why? They're both dead, and all that potential's gone. We still don't know what they were doing. I guess now we know they worked for Clemens, which you probably are going to destroy them the first time you play them. You probably won't even hear Clemens' radio chatter with them, because guess what? They immediately die. They're that easy. You can destroy them within the first 20 seconds. I'm not joking. I do it in this gameplay. So, I mean, I found their death stuff funny. It was hilariously bad. The dialogue sucked. And I don't know whether to blame that on the voice actor or the writer. I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. But I didn't feel any sympathy. I didn't care about them at all. I didn't care about their death noises or whatever. It was especially when you kill when you kill Rage first. Scream is honestly at a point where it's like, I don't know. And I don't understand the fan base. I've seen so much praise for this mission. I've seen so much people saying this story is so great. And it honestly worries me. It really does. For Ace Combat 8, I saw somebody say that Ace Combat 8 should be more missions like this. And I hope that's just the one person I saw. But honestly, I don't think it is. Now, that reminds me, what I just saw. I guess rotor, I don't know, the VTOLs. There are VTOLs that will pop up or be spotted by a ground unit. I don't really get it. They have pretty much no purpose to even exist. They don't do anything. You can destroy them, but and some dialogue gets said, but they don't do anything. And they also don't even mark where it is. They tell you they put a beacon on the enemy, but they don't. They really don't. They don't tell you. They don't. It doesn't flash on your radar. It doesn't show you where they are. You have to just kind of see what enemy might be away from the rest, and that's pretty much it. You just have to see if you can find them, or you have to see them pop up on your radar. But it's not really, it's not practical. You're not going to know for sure all the time. I'm sure after a while you'll memorize the spawns, but so I mean, and the only person I don't think that did a terrible job here was Kiki Kobayashi. The soundtrack, it's not my favorite, but it's not bad. It's okay. It's pretty good, I guess. It's definitely not on par with the last one, but that one was a masterpiece at that point. You can also shoot down those UAVs that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, you can shoot them down, but again, you're going to be overwhelmed quite a bit with them. I don't know. Well, the beginning of the DLC, the cutscene, in the first one tries to be funny. It did get a chuckle out of me at least. But it was also really stupid and made no sense. The second cutscene is kind of interesting. It brings up some interesting stuff. But do I think any of it will be explored? No. I don't think Alred's going to be there. I don't think anything of OC is going to be in this game. I'm pretty sure that the next mission's going to be rehashed. I mean, I don't even... What was the point of making these missions? They're just rehashed levels. They're not unique. They're not fun. Well, the first one was fun, but it's just... Why couldn't they make something unique? Why couldn't they make a new level? And it's clear that they're trying to explore some ideas. The crashes of the siblings are kind of interesting. Apparently they figured out how to actually time the dialogue with the crashes. So good job on that. You probably should have gotten that down before you finished the main game, but congratulations, I guess. They also put like containers on the ships, so instead of just being allowed to sink the cargo ships, you have to blow up the containers on them. Okay. I don't know what to say about this story because it just seems so bland now. Hujin gets really mad in the end, in like the post mission thing. I guess Clemens gets arrested. I have no idea. It didn't really make that clear. Yeah, and even the I can't think right now. The your friendlies, specifically Wiseman, among the others, really wanted somebody to die because they kept saying they want 100% survival rate. Yeah, 2 of your friendlies get shot down, or more specifically damaged. So counts at the end of the mission pretty much the only man left standing besides you. Yeah, this mission reeks of the lack of, I don't know, finish? They really needed more allies in this mission. I was worried about it just being difficult to be difficult. Not to challenge you. Not to actually add difficulty in a way. Like, for example, Marvel Spider-Man, great game, had 3 DLCs of its own. 3 side... You probably know what I'm talking about. 3, I guess separate story episodes, if you will. And it was all a part of one story like this. And they added new enemies pretty much in every episode. If recall, they added at least 1 enemy every episode. And it wasn't... And when you did the strongholds that they had in each one, it's just like... It didn't feel challenging just to be challenging. It didn't feel like... It was overwhelming to face the enemies, and there were a lot of enemies, but it was about the same as a normal stronghold. The only difference was... And I never actually died on those, but they were difficult. I don't actually know if I died once throughout the entire campaign of Spider-Man. Unintentionally. But it never felt too difficult, or it never felt difficult to be difficult. It was... They added new enemy types, and you had to adjust to those accordingly. And the enemies were aggressive, but they weren't overwhelming to the point where it felt unfair. Here, they just throw hundreds of enemies at you, constant missiles, constant alerts, and they throw an enemy at you that's going to fly around you and cause you to get hit by rail guns. It stinks. It stinks of terrible design that they carried over from the main game, and it's worse. I don't get it. You had such a good run. You made such a good mission. But to be honest, I didn't hold out hope. At least not as much as a lot of people might have. And apparently a lot of people enjoyed this mission. I don't really get it. I hated this mission. And yeah, I didn't hold out hope as much as a lot of people did. I wasn't... I'm disappointed, obviously. But I don't think... it's not really a surprise. Because I know the last mission was such a high note, but it was a disaster waiting to happen. So... yeah, I don't really know what else might be coming. The next DLC will be out next month. And I'm worried. I'm worried because after the next DLC, we don't have anything. And then, who knows? I doubt... Like, I know I'm making all these suggestions, getting myself hopeful for no reason with Ace Combat 8. I think the chances of them actually taking the advice I've given are so low that if I bet on it, I would be a high roller gambler. So I'm not going to put my bets on it. I don't think they're going to listen. I don't think they're going to do anything cool with Ace Combat 8, and I'm honestly worried. And one of the problems I have is I don't know, like, if I actually Because it sucks because I don't want another game like Ace Combat 7. And if we did get another game like Ace Combat 7 and Ace Combat 8, I don't really want to play it at that point. I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't want to play a game like that again. I wouldn't want to play a game like this. Now, it may have Ace Combat 0 attached. It's very likely 4 will not be. If they do that, which they will, let's be honest, they're going to. It's basically a guarantee, because this is the thing. If they do that, I'm basically going to be forced to get Ace Combat 8, because why would you, I'm not going to pass up that opportunity. Why would I? But if Ace Combat 8 comes out in the same state as 7, which it probably will, they aren't getting any support from Namco anymore. I mean, it's expensive enough to make this game. This game was unpolished. It was delayed. It had a complete engine shift. It had so much development problems. And I don't think Ace Combat 8 is going to be any better. I don't think the story is going to be anything great. I definitely don't think it's going to have all 3 Trinity Aces. I don't expect anything. I'm not expecting anything. But what I want to say is, I can't trust this community, because they think this is a good game. They think 7 is a good game. And I'm sure people watching this do too. I completely disagree, and I may have to make another review for Ace Combat 7, because the one I currently have is extremely outdated, and my opinions have changed. I still think Ace Combat 7 is probably the second worst Ace Combat game, besides Assault Horizon. I do need to do a re-review. And if I do a re-review, I can just direct people to that, because it'll have all the thoughts I have on this game, and why it is a terrible, terrible game. And I'm going on tangents all the time. I'm sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about that. This game is easy to go off on a tangent on. There are so many problems with it. I can tear it up easily. But it's hard to keep my thoughts compact, because it's so easy to go off on a tangent on how bad this game is. And nobody thinks it's bad. And I don't know what to do about that. But I can't trust the community on whether Ace Combat 8 is good or not. So the only way to find out is to play it for myself, and that really sucks because, well, you know why. Because I mean, it's just, I don't get it. So what I can hope for, or something I hope will happen, is EA will pursue this, the idea of getting an air combat type game. I don't care what they do with it. I don't care about the game if they do that. It's not my problem. But I want some competition. I want the Ace Combat series to have some sort of competition. Hawks is dead. And Ubisoft definitely isn't going to make another Hawks. If EA tries this, which I hope they do, I might hold out some hope for Ace Combat 8. If they don't, I'm not holding out anything. Because, honestly, Ace Combat fans, they're wusses. At least the ones I've seen on Reddit. It's just, they'll take anything. They'll accept anything. Anything goes. Anything's fine. Everything's good. This is great. This is wonderful. Ace Combat 7's amazing. DLC 5's amazing. DLC 4's amazing. They won't think twice. The Morgan's great. It has a problem or two, but it's fine. The Falcon and the lasers are completely useless. It's fine. Everything's fine. The ADF-11 should have been in the base game. It's literally in the coding. You can use it for free by just getting mods or whatever, or unlocking it. It should have been in the base game because you literally fight it in the base game. But it's fine. You have to pay for the soul skins, even though they're in the game and just attached to enemy aircraft. That's fine. Who cares? The Mobius 1 skin's inaccurate. It's fine. Who cares? The Cypher skin isn't there. Who cares? Well, I do care. So, I don't align myself with this community at all. This community is terrible. At least of what I've witnessed it. I'm not saying there aren't good people in the community. I'm not saying there are people who are logical in the community, because I've seen many of them. Well, some of them. Okay, not that many of them, but I've seen some of them. And many of them are on my channel. At least, I've spoken to on my channel. I met a few insane people who actually understand that Ace Combat 7 has problems. That it's not a perfect game. But there aren't that many. And it really, really worries me. Whether or not you take that seriously or not, I can't imagine we want a bad Ace Combat game. But this story, the game's main story, and this new story being turned into utter garbage, even though there was potential. There was potential. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it sucked and I called it. I thought this story had some potential. I didn't hold out hope, but I thought it had potential. I don't understand why Namco continue Project Aces. I kind of make that differentiation, but you know, I understand, or at least I don't. No, I don't understand why they keep screwing up potential great things. The beginning of the campaign of Ace Combat 7 had potential as well. Do people even know what Maid Squadron is anymore? The first 4 missions are completely pointless at this point. There's no reason they even exist, because they're completely forgotten about. And it's annoying, because that part of the game had the most potential out of all of it. And the game turns generic when you get to Strider's Squadron. And I haven't mentioned this, but it's starting to get less and less and less believable that these missions aren't mentioned in the main game, especially when Lanza and Fusion both got damaged and had to return to base. And all this stuff happened because they're trying to sell this to us, that this was all between, I think, Cape Rainy, or at least Bunker Buster and Pharmacy. That it's not possible at this point. I don't believe it. But, well, hope you guys have enjoyed. I doubt you have. If you're just a person coming here to listen to why I'm wrong about everything Ace Combat 7, and you leave your hate comment down below, that's your problem, not mine. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Have a nice day or night, wherever you are. Stay frosty, and the price is right.